I'm saying that our motives ought to be other-centered. Our motive should not be, what will I receive from this? In marriages, in families, in churches, in workplaces, if we're not careful, we'll fight the people that we say we love instead of working for their promotion. It should be the attitude of every child of God to want those people in your life to be blessed. It should be your job and your attitude to bless me. I'm just being honest. It should be my attitude to bless you. It should be your attitude to bless those that are sitting beside you that are a part of this church. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. If you get a church like that completely, disunity will completely stop. Not that we have that in this body. But disunity will completely stop. You will sever it completely because love will overcome all of those things. It will overcome the differences that we have with one another because we're not the same, are we? I mean, you can be glad when you look in the mirror you don't look like me. But you can be glad that you don't have my personality sometimes, or my imagination, or whatever. You know, God made you unique. But we can learn to celebrate the differences of others and realize we're on the same team as a church, and as a family, as a husband and wife, and as children, as our parents, and even the lost. We're part of humanity. In a sense, we're all in the same team. We once were lost, weren't we? Yes. And they don't have a Savior, and they need one. And we get the opportunity to serve them and love them, not judge them, but serve them and love them and woo them in until they experience the love of God in their life. I remember when I was a child, I daydreamed a lot. I don't know if y'all were like that or not. But I dreamed about a lot of things. I'd be sitting in history class dreaming about motorcycles and what I was going to do when I got off work and my daddy wasn't there for me to work. I was going to sneak off or do something and enjoy that time. And I remember I was out on the football field in junior high, and I was probably, for some reason my mouth comes off when I daydream. I was probably looking up at the sky and dreaming about something, and they were having a little scrimmage type of thing, and we were supposed to be guarding the quarterback. Okay, I was just a squirt. Okay, but if I could get my legs wrapped, if I could get my arms wrapped around your leg, you were going down. Even if I had cleats in my chin, you were going down. And so the only problem was I was supposed to be guarding the guy, and so I'd take him down. I mean, he goes. And so I get this reputation, I took the wrong guy down, but I get this reputation as the best body tackler on the team, for a squirt like me anyway. But what happens in real life is we end up hurting the ones that we should be loving the most. And we end up working against the ones that we should be investing in the most. In church, you're supposed to be supporters of the home team. In marriage, you're looking out for your partner. In the workplace, you're working as a team to do the best for the whole. When I go to work and I get done, I go to the teacher who is my authority, and I say, we're done with it. What would you like for us to do now? I don't turn the TV on to watch the news. What's next? What's the next assignment? It should be the attitude of us, let's serve. And then we need to understand that let nothing be done with a conceited heart. We need a humble heart. And the teachings of Jesus combated the promotion of self. When you hear Jesus talk, He was always about humility. He taught a lot of things, of course, and He taught on faith, and He taught on reaching out and believing. But He taught on humility over and over and over again. And one of those places, you don't have to turn, I'm just going to read this to you in Mark chapter 10. Jesus is having to address something in the heart of His people. And it says, then James and John, in verse 35, then James and John, the son of Zebedee, came to Him saying, Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask. First of all, that's a little bit on the cocky level. And He said to them, what do you want me to do for you? And they said to Him, grant us that we may sit one on your right hand and the other on your left in your glory. But Jesus said to them, you don't know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink and be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with? They said to him, we're able. So Jesus said to them, you will indeed drink that cup that I drink and be baptized with the baptism I'm baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and my left is not mine to be given, but it is for those for whom it is prepared. And when the 10 heard it, they began to be greatly displeased with James and John. You know why they were displeased? They recognized the flesh in that. They recognized the self-exaltation in that. Here was this is the home team. This is the 12 disciples. And you got 2 of them saying, leaving Peter out. And Peter, anytime you see James and John, Peter was there. They're leaving even Peter out. They didn't include Peter. We want to sit at your right hand and your left. Imagine the arrogance of these 2 guys. We want to be able to be at your right and your left. Where Mama didn't know any better. Mama was spurring it on. It doesn't say it in Mark. But she was like, see if you can make that happen. Self-exaltation is the exact opposite of everything that Christ is. If Christ came to be exalted, He would have set up a kingdom and people would have bowed down to Him and worshiped Him. Okay? He would have just set up a kingdom and He would become the King of Israel in that present life. But the Word says He came not to be served, but to serve. He